Have you ever found yourself in a moment that changed everything, a split second that unraveled your entire world? Mine happened on a beach and it left an indelible mark I can never erase. Tis my story, it said that certain moments cling to you like shadows haunting without sound. 2 years have passed since that day, 2 years since my world shifted entirely. What was meant to be a simple beach trip with my son Leonard became something entirely unexpected. My husband Phoenix had work obligations like always, and I was accustomed to facing those moments alone, yet on that day something felt different. Both then and now we spread our towels beneath the warm sun, and I finally felt a reprieve from life's chaos. I turned to Leonard and asked him to apply some oil to my back. It seemed innocent enough after all. He was my boy. At first it was just a casual touch, but then I felt his hands drift lower and lower. I didn't stop him. Why didn't I stop him? You think you know yourself, your family, yet there's always a critical moment that can unravel everything. For that moment happened on that beach, and I've never been the same since. Phoenix and I had been married for over 15 years, and to outsiders we appeared to be the perfect couple, comfortable home, lovely children, and a stable life, but within our walls the cracks were unseen. For years Phoenix's job consumed him, late nights, weekends, holidays. I convinced myself he was working hard for our family, but eventually that narrative fell apart. What good is a home if no one is there to share it? I felt invisible. When he returned home he hardly glanced in my direction, ceased asking about my desires, my needs. Our conversations had dwindled to mundane topics: bills, groceries, the children. Although he adored Leonard and his little sister Isa, he was present yet emotionally absent. I often found myself at the dinner table wondering if he even saw me anymore. That morning as Phoenix rushed out the door he muttered an apology. Sorry Freya, I can't make it today, something urgent at work. I didn't argue, it was routine by now. I stifled my disappointment, convincing myself I'd be fine with just Leonard. Back then he was 16, tall and lanky, bearing his father's brown eyes but with a gentler demeanor. When he mentioned it would only be the two of us he shrugged, packed up and followed me to the car in silence. The drive to the beach felt long and uneventful, my mind drifting back to Phoenix. I reminisced about our past movie nights, spontaneous trips, the spark in his eyes when he looked at me. I hadn't felt that warmth in years. I was so weary of being overlooked. Once we arrived, Leonard helped set up near the water. As I laid back on my towel I realized how desperately I craved connection. Isn't it nice to be out? I tried to sound upbeat. He nearly nodded, his eyes darting away. After a while I remembered the oil. It turned to Leonard and asked him to help with me back. As he hesitated before taking the bottle I laid back down. His touch was gentle, reminiscent of when he was young, but soon it shifted. My breath hitched as I felt his hands travel lower me. Mind raced. I wanted to speak but found myself silent. I convinced myself it was innocent help, but deep down I knew it wasn't. It's okay, you can rub there too, I said, the words laced with something I couldn't comprehend. A choice I regretted the moment it escaped my lips. Leonard didn't respond, but he didn't stop either. I squeezed my eyes shut, grappling with the weight off what was happening. As his hands lingered I felt both panic and a strange longing and emptiness I didn't know how to articulate. I let it unfold. Why? Perhaps it was the loneliness, perhaps the need for validation, or perhaps I had simply ceased to care. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. I understand this is a heavy topic and your willingness to listen means a lot. If you resonate with my story or believe someone else might, please like and subscribe to help me continue sharing me experiences. After that day at the beach I was changed. Leonard's look shifted, each one heavier with an unnameable weight. He attempted to suppress it. Back home he maintained normally, cooking, folding laundry. While replaying that moment in my mind, hating myself for feeling this way about my son. Phoenix came home late again, offering a lifeless kiss, his presence little more than an echo of what once was that night under the same roof. I lay awake, consumed by thoughts of Leonard and that morning at the beach. It was wrong, yet I couldn't shake the feeling of being desired. Days passed. Andy noticed Leonard drawing nearer, his quiet moments of lingering stares becoming more frequent. Then came another weekend. It was stiflingly hot, and with Phoenix away again I suggested we visit the beach once more. A part of me hoped that perhaps the fresh air would dispel the heaviness between us. The drive was quiet, and finally at the beach we set up without incident. I didn't ask him for oil, instead we simply tried to maintain a sense of normal. However, I could feel him watching me. My anxiety heightened. Later that afternoon we decided to rinse off in the beach showers. I stepped under the water after him, a sudden rush of bravery washing over me. I tossed acidine outer clothing, urging him to rinse properly. When he hesitated I felt compelled to continue. You should take off your shorts too. I didn't know why I sighed. I was half testing the waters, perhaps daring him to step closer, and he did just as before. We found ourselves entwined against the flow of water, washing away dirt yet unable to cleanse our feelings. I leaned back into him, asking for help with my back and guiding his hands, crossing an unspeakable boundary. What followed was a whirlwind of need, a high-stakes connection in the midst of wrongness. When it ended, Wes stood in silence, water cascading, but I could sense the truth beneath the surface. On the drive home ethylence was oppressive. Leonard finally broke it, tentatively asking what had just transpired, but I couldn't answer. It was no longer a simple "I don't know." The truth was far more complex. Once home we sat in the car, the weight of the air palpable. He looked at me, revealing a longing I also felt. I didn't know how to address it. I whispered, maybe longer than I want to admit. In that darkness vulnerability intertwined between us, and as the moment unfolded he leaned in and kissed me, igniting the suppressed Tension. I felt seen again, alive in a way that had eluded me for years. I didn't care about the consequences. The days that followed blurred together. Leonard found every opportunity to slip closer, a constant magnetic pull as I lay next to Phoenix. Thoughts of Leonard consumed me, reminding me of the passion I'd lost. Everything changed one night after Phoenix left for work. Alone in the kitchen, Leonard stepped closer, breathing in my space. Mom, he whispered, I can't stop thinking about you. My resolve faltered, and I admitted I can't stop either. That moment broke everything. Leonard kissed me deeply, and I surrendered to the feelings I'd spent so long denying. In those moments, nothing else mattered, not Phoenix, not ISA, and not the lives we'd built. Since that day, nothing has returned to normal. We crossed a line that leaves a heavy weight of guilt, unconf confusion. Each look from Leonard makes me acutely aware of what we've done, lingering doubts echoing in my mind. I watch my husband and daughter every day, questioning how they remain unaware of the fissures in our family unit. Perhaps they're too absorbed in their own lives. Blind Tommy, silent struggles. I know this can't continue indefinitely. Secrets have a way of surfacing, and when they do, the fallout will be catastrophic. The guilt binds me, but so does the clandestine thrill coursing through my veins. Leonard is the one person who makes me feel alive. I share mystery today in hopes of finding understanding, or perhaps advice. If you've dealt with such a situation or have insights, please reach out. As I end my story, I want to know, have you ever found yourself crossing a line you never thought you'd cross? What would you do in my situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget, if you found mystery compelling, please like this video, share it with others who might need to hear it, and subscribe for more stories that explore the complexities of human connection. Your support means the world to me and encourages me to keep sharing. Thank you for listening, and remember, you are not alone.